Welcome out to the Nerd Effect Podcast. We are on episode number something or other, and Mason just
34,
fucking messed me up. Thank you.
Wow, my brain hurt after that one, too.
So this is, holy shit. Train of thought. Gone. Out the window.
34th episode.
34th episode. We're going to be talking about nerdy TV shows.
Yes. Yes, indubitably.
Past, current, mostly current, and future.
And future.
There's been a lot of...
There's some pretty exciting future on the horizon. So,
In fact, I think that's where we're starting.
yes.
With the future, in the present.
Well,
Like right now.
Backwards?
Fuck, that's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. It's timey-wimey.
Alright, so there's been a lot of really...
We should probably introduce ourselves before we break Nikki.
Yeah, because she's going to listen to us if we don't introduce ourselves. She's going to break. You know that. You'll hear like this little ping from across the office.
That's actually what's causing her migraine right now.
Lol.
Is the fact that we didn't introduce ourselves.
Yes, it's again timey-wimey.
Okay.
It hasn't happened yet. She knew it was going to happen.
Right.
Which is why she's not here.
Okay. So anyway.
I am Dustin Vancouver, one of your lovely, lovely hosts.
I am Michael Morgan.
And I'm Mason Ireland.
Yay!
Still feels weird without Nikki here.
Yes, it does.
Yes,
All right.
The cheer without the Nikki is just, it doesn't.
It really is weird.
Yeah.
It's three guys sounding really wrong.
A lot of love in this
Wrong
room.
in all the right ways. Just throw a little pink in there for you.
All right, let's move on.
When did you become such a pop music enthusiast all of a sudden?
I pick up things like that. I don't know why. Actually, Pink isn't that bad.
No, she's not. But but that is not an artist I would expect to hear in your inventory of music.
I like a lot of different kinds of music.
Apparently.
Yeah, it's like I like Pink, but I have bad experiences with Pink's bands. I guess is the way to put it.
Oh, well.
Yeah. So I had people that I hung out with that listened to Pink all the time, and I associate Pink music to those people, which I really just don't care to think about.
Yeah.
You should meet Miley Cyrus fans, and then you'll realize that they're probably fairly normal.
No, I know who he's talking about. They shall remain nameless, but no.
But you know who it is.
I know who it is. So,
Oh.
yeah. They're not normal. Just, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Do I know this person?
I don't think
Don't think he would.
Yeah.
This was before I left for Phoenix.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
You're better off. Trust us.
I spiked myself in the forehead. It was, yeah.
All right. Well.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna start.
Exactly.
Yes, I've had way too much caffeine tonight. I've had 2 cups of coffee before we left. I had a friggin' what the hell is it? The one of those NOS energy drinks at like noon today, and coffee this morning. So
You're doing good.
I'm running on fumes and hopes.
And something tells me we're heading towards a crash.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right.
So we're gonna start the top of the. God damn! I cannot get those 2 words out of my mouth. We're gonna start the top of this show with the future.
Yay, Dustin.
Yay! I win. Okay.
You can sentence.
3rd time's a charm.
Yes.
I can sentence, yes. Not well, but I can sentence.
Yes.
All right.
So we're gonna start with the future. You guys want to start us off with there's been a lot of cool previews
Yes.
out there lately. Would you like to start us off with one?
Start off with one here.
Okay, go for it.
All right. So we had the Flash trailer, which was amazing.
Which is a full 5 minutes of fucking awesome.
Yeah. So anybody who's been following the Arrow, the nerdy sciencey guy that was at the place where the particle accelerator exploded?
Yeah. Well, it was where the centrifuge was stolen from.
Right. The centrifuge was stolen from. And then basically there was an accident. There was
And then he was
electrical
gone
stuff
from the show.
And then we hadn't seen anything from the show. Come to find out that there's a reason he wasn't in the show. It's because he is going to be the Flash.
Yes.
Barry Allen, I believe.
Specifically, yes, Barry Allen.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I was actually a little bit giddy when I saw the Arrow in the previews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you kind of have like a Spider-Man style exit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, using a grappling arrow.
Yeah.
Right, but it was like swinging off a building.
Yep.
Like,
He hasn't done that trick yet.
Not yet.
But apparently he's going to start doing that too. Okay. I also noticed they had the some of the other sciencey guys,
Yes.
like Felicity's buddies.
Felicity's pals, yeah.
So apparently those are going to be regular characters on that show. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It looks like they're going to be his support team, like Felicity and Diggle are Arrows.
I have not seen Arrow yet. However, this latest Flash preview has made me want to go back and rewatch it.
Arrow is actually an awesome show. I was really worried at first. Like, I was playing Guild Wars 2 with my guild. And one of the guys, that I was hanging out with at the time, he was like, dude, like, you gotta watch Arrow. I was like, I don't know. You know, cause like, he's like, well, do you like superheroes? I was like, yeah, I love superheroes and comic books and stuff, but you know, they always destroy them on TV. He's like, no, they're doing a good job. I was like, and I was like, and it's the CW. You know? So I just wasn't, you know, I was really kind of leery about it, you know? And finally one day he just basically wore me down. You know, I was like, fine, I'll go watch it.
Didn't CW do the Smallville series though too?
I don't remember. They might have.
I believe it was.
Okay.
That was
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
That was like 9 seasons.
Yeah. But, I still think that all Superman TV shows pale in comparison to Lois and Clark, though.
Yeah.
Even though Lois and Clark is, well, let's just face it, Terry Hatcher had shoulder pads in that show. It's older
early
now.
90s.
It was early 90s. It's older now. But still, like, Dean Cain was a great Superman and a great Clark Kent. He was a great both. That was part of the key. And Terry Hatcher was a great Lois, and their chemistry together was amazing, and it was a golden show in a lot of ways. But, like, you know, he finally wore me down on the Arrow. And the first third to half, maybe, season of Arrow was a little bit rough to get through, because it's almost a little too formulaic. But once you're beyond that, Arrow is awesome. It's just simply an amazing superhero show. They've done such a good job of staying true to the character, but making it more TV accessible because it's not in printed form. You know, I think they've done a great job. And I think their character choices are really good. The addition of Diggle, like, he is integral to the show. He is a great counterbalance and essentially in some ways, sounding board or conscience, you know, to Oliver. And they've done an amazing work on that show, I think. And I'm really happy to see that, like, with the Flash, they're not making it a separate universe. It is the same universe that Arrow is in, you know, which I think that's one of the cool things that they're starting to do in general. You know, like, both DC's doing it with Arrow and Flash, and then Marvel's doing it with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Avengers movies.
And
all the other movies associated with the Avengers.
Well, I was going to say, and the Netflix series that they're going to be.
Yeah, and the Netflix series that are going to come out. Yeah, I think that, like, plus, I can't remember who's doing it for DC, but, like, Marvel scored a coup when they got Joss Whedon to be their basically overseer of universal continuity and everything for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like, that was just like, okay, win, because it's Joss fucking Whedon. So, yeah.
Yep. Let's see. So I'm trying not to do any spoilers here yet either. So,
well, we're still in the future technically.
Yeah.
We just went on an Arrow tirade.
Well, I didn't even talk about, like, really anything happening.
No.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I have to agree. I do love the idea that they're putting it all in the same universe. So we can have these characters, like, interact on the different shows and, you know, actually be, consistent and have continuity to it still.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of times when you have things like that in shows, it's just, somebody kind of pops on and says, "Oh, look, I'm here," and there's no real contribution or reason for them to be there. It's just a cameo. Yeah. Whereas here, it's like it's part of the whole show.
Right. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think that I don't think that Flash and Arrow, the shows, will interact that much. Mm-hmm. Once Flash is, an established show, but having Felicity help out occasionally is totally within the realms of possibility, even if she's still in Starling City and just, remotely hacking for them or something. Mm-hmm. Even if they don't even have the actress, visually there or even her voice, but just have, okay, Felicity helped to get us this information, that kind of crossover would be valid and acceptable, and then, having Flash going and talking to Arrow, for advice, because Arrow's technically been doing it longer. Mm-hmm. Not by a whole lot, but he's been doing the superhero thing longer. Asking advice and stuff that's what about the whole wear a mask thing that's in the trailer.
Well, there's he also about you saying that they probably won't interact a whole lot.
Yeah,
and your first clue to that is there's a quote in the trailer where he says something along the lines of, "This is your opportunity, Barry, to be the protector of your city."
Yeah,
and so that kind of seals puts the nail in the coffin that you probably won't see much of Arrow. Because he's doing his thing too.
Oh yeah, he's over in Starling City.
Yeah.
Of course, the Flash, won't take him that long to get over to Starling City.
No.
Hey, should I go do this thing?
Yeah. Granted, they're only clocking him at Mach 1, according to the trailer.
Well, yeah.
But
I also like the fact that
still, that's plenty fast. I'm not knocking Mach 1, but
I love the fact that they explain the way the Flash works. It's not that to him that he's running fast, but that he's basically moving regular speed, but everything's in super slow mode to him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought that was a friggin' mind-bendy concept. I was like, hey, time and space.
Yeah.
I dig
plus with that, it's mind you, it gives them the excuse to use slow-mo special effects. Mm. Also, excuse me, pardon me. But I don't really mind that sometimes. If they overuse it, it's going to get cheesy and annoying. Mm-hmm. But if they use it at the right times, it could be really cool. If something's happening, and he has to accelerate, in the moment, mm-hmm. That could be, I think they could do some really cool special effects with that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Speaking of the special effects, they look super awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, big budget Hollywood movie type awesome. I don't know how they got away with some of the stuff that they did, but
part of it is I think they're just getting better budgets because these shows are working.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, they don't know if they'll work because it's a fresh series. It's not. Well, usually you don't see the budgets kick in until after the second or third season.
Got a little bit of a theory on it too. I think Arrow was almost on one level an experiment.
Yeah.
To see how popular these superheroes would be. Arrow's not really the first choice of a superhero.
No.
And
he's not Batman, he's not Superman, he's not the X-Men or the Avengers.
So they kind of feeling the waters with it, seeing how it works, and now that they're finding that, oh, hey, this works, they're getting bigger name superheroes in to the mix, mm-hmm. and trying to get it, build it up from there.
Yeah.
Which, I definitely don't think is a bad thing, but.
Yeah. Well, also, I think Flash might have gotten a slightly. Why am I yawning again? I think Flash probably got a little bit more of a budget. One, because they knew they were going to have a little bit more special effects involved because of how fast he runs. But also, after seeing Arrow do as well as it has, they're like, okay, we can put a little more into this to start with because we have a little more faith that this will work.
And Flash is also, arguably, I guess, probably a more popular comic book character than Arrow is. I mean, I've known of the Flash a lot longer than I have of Green Arrow.
Honestly, I really don't know.
He just seems, to me, he seems more recognizable to a general audience.
Probably is, yeah.
If you weren't into comics, if you said the Flash, you probably be like, yeah, I know who the Flash is.
Yeah.
Red suit, lightning bolt.
Yeah.
I know exactly who the fucking
Or
Flash
runs
is.
fast. Something.
Yeah, runs fast.
Yeah, you say the Arrow, people are like, who? What?
Green Arrow. Well, Green Arrow.
Yeah, even Green Arrow. I mean, some people are still like,
Don't you mean Green Lantern?
Yeah.
yeah, the Archer guy. Oh, yeah, that guy. All right, so
Still on future shows.
Yeah.
what else we got coming?
Gotham
Ah,
looks fucking incredible, and it is a great twist on the Batman idea.
Yeah.
Because you can only hear an origin story so many times, but
Mind you, Year One was a good comic book, but
it kind of makes me think of like Smallville for Batman.
yeah.
You know,
That's,
and that was the
that's the entire premise.
the entire
when you look at
premise,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, but I like how it is going to have it a focus like Commissioner Gordon.
And it's more of it's honestly more of Commissioner Gordon's origin story versus and maybe young Bruce Wayne's,
Right.
But like in some of the actually it seems like everybody's because you get I keep forgetting his first name, but Penguin's full name is something Cobblepot. I can't
Well,
remember.
Penguin, Riddler,
Yeah.
Catwoman, and Batman, Bruce Wayne. They did not mention Barbara Gordon, which I thought was interesting. Commissioner Gordon's daughter.
I believe Barbara is
But-
significantly younger than.
Oh yeah, I think she's probably at least 10 years younger than Batman. That's true. So yeah.
She could just be a toddler at this
Yeah.
point.
or you know, twinkle in Commissioner Gordon or Detective Gordon's eye.
That's true.
So
yeah, and I think it's interesting that they got definitely a startings of Jack Napier.
yeah.
So we're definitely going to be seeing the beginnings of the Joker on this too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't really lead you into where the story is going to go in this. Flash, they give you a full 5 minutes
Yeah.
where it was like, this is definitely where the storyline is going to go. But again, with Batman, you can only tell an origin story so many times. It's like, you already know who Batman is, and so we can only lead you in so much.
Right.
But here's a few faces, here's the characters, here's what the general feel of the show is going to be like.
Yeah.
Go clean
Yeah.
yourself up because it looks amazing.
Yeah. Well, plus, like, you know, doing the crime drama, the rise of the criminal elements in Gotham that pushes Batman even further into becoming Batman.
Yeah, that's the other thing I thought too. Is it's like a comic book NYPD Blue,
Right.
like your Shield or something. I don't know, but
Yeah.
but based in a comic book world, I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because like Gotham, the city was set up for, you know, crime detective stories, and you know it those had to happen there before Batman to build Batman.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to be pretty. I think it's going to. They could do a lot with that show.
Oh, totally. And
Yeah.
it gives you a lot more insight into. That's what I want to see is a lot more insight into Gordon,
Yeah.
and I also want to see if they make him grow his mustache out.
Yeah. I was saying the problem is like with Commissioner Gordon is he's not Gary Oldman. And like Gary Oldman's one of those actors like I really love his acting and how his ability as an actor in every part he's ever played.
And
Awesome.
and he never looks the same in any role
No.
that he's in. Like he could look 20 years younger than he does now easily, depending on the role that he's in, or
Yeah.
20 years older.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at him between Commissioner Gordon and I never remember the character's name, even though I should.
Harry Potter.
But his character in Harry Potter, Sirius Black.
Sirius Black, yeah.
Like, it's hard to tell those are both the same dude. Mm-hmm. But they are. And yeah, I think he's an amazing actor. And after he has a role, it's kind of like, I'm always, I always get that worry that someone else is not going to fulfill my expectations.
He was in Book of Eli, too, as the bad guy in
Yes.
that movie.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember, like...
And The Professional, he was the bad guy that was going after Leon.
Do you know how long it's been since I've seen The Professional? Like, I've only seen, like, maybe an hour of it. I haven't seen the whole movie.
Oh, dude, we have to fix that. That is an awesome fucking movie.
I know. But, that's got young, what's-her-face
Natalie
in it?
Portman.
Natalie Portman in it, yeah. Yeah. I know.
And she was already an amazing actress. So,
No.
yeah. I was looking over to you because you're going to make some pervy comment. I was going to smack you.
I was waiting.
She was like 12, dude.
Yeah, that would have been it. She was 12. But
I was making perfect
We
comments.
threw him under the bus and he didn't even say anything. It's just, I'm sorry, Mike.
14-year-old paleontologist. Okay, fine.
Okay, so Gotham, awesome.
yes,
Flash, awesome. What was the third one?
Constantine.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Now, here's another one by DC. However, it's going to be on a separate channel. It's on ABC, I believe. I get the alphabet soup mixed up, so.
Yeah, NBC, I think NBC is Gotham.
No, Fox is Gotham.
Oh, Fox is Gotham?
Yeah.
Oh, NBC has Marvel.
Right.
So yeah, you're right. Sorry, go ahead. And then CW.
ABC has Marvel, I thought. Anyway, it's part of the alphabet soup.
I thought NBC was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I don't remember.
Continue talking.
Anyway, part of the alphabet soup that is not also hosting Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But, so I'm assuming it is going to be in a different universe than Arrow and Flash because it is on a different network.
Same reason that Spider-Man will never be in an X-Men movie.
Yes.
Or an Avengers movie.
Yeah. Or at least not until all of the, agreements expire and, Disney can put all of Marvel into one universe themselves.
Yeah.
But
All hail the mass conglomerate known as Disney.
well, they're not doing a bad job with Marvel so far.
Okay, true.
Hey,
Google, get on it.
So,
this is random. Google's search engine has a Rubik's Cube that you can play with on it right now. Apparently it must be the anniversary of Rubik's Cube or something.
probably.
So you got distracted.
I did. Sorry.
Super distraction.
Yeah.
Okay, so Constantine.
So Constantine. Because, a little background for those of you who are not the biggest up on the comic books. Constantine is based on a DC comic called Hellblazer.
It is on ABC.
It is on ABC. Okay. And Hellblazer was originally part of the Vertigo line of DC Comics, which were these stories are stories that children should not read stories. They were meant for mature audiences because of dark and or controversial or violent storylines. And he's the Vertigo universe used to not be part of the normal DC universe. They existed on a different Earth than the heroes did. And so because it's on a different station and because of it was Vertigo when Vertigo existed, they've rolled all of Vertigo just into DC now. So I'm going to guess that he is going to be in a separate universe. He's not going to ever really he's not going to get any involvement with like the Flash or Arrow or Batman or Commissioner Gordon or anything else because of, what Constantine deals with, but also because of the totally just different nature, essentially, of the show. However, from the preview, at least in my opinion, they've got a few things going right for Constantine. He's British, like he's supposed to be. He's not Keanu Reeves. Now, mind you, back in the old Constantine movie, I actually thought Keanu did a decent job, but I also was able to completely separate that movie from the comic books because they were radically different enough.
And as we all know, Keanu Reeves has his own accent.
And the Keanu Reeves has one accent, Keanu. But they actually have a British guy using a British accent playing a British guy who has a British accent. The costume is right, but the costume isn't hard for Constantine. It's a white button-down Oxford, tan or blue pants usually, brown shoes, dark tie, and a tan trench coat.
Usually a little disheveled, right?
And yeah, usually disheveled. But he's British. He's a jerk, which I'm glad they put that through in the comic.
Or he's a snarky son of a bitch.
Yeah. I think he said Bullocks at least 3 or 4 times in the preview too, which is good because he says it all the time. And yeah, he was, he basically didn't necessarily care for anyone, but he always did what he knew he had to do, which is very Constantine. There was only one major problem. One thing that stood out and was a problem for the trailer and very possibly the entire show. He did not light a cigarette once. And Constantine, the character, part of his defining thing is that he beat all 3 lords of hell and made them cure his lung cancer and make it so he could not die, basically, because he made a deal with all of them to get his lung cancer cured. And he tricked all of them into it, and the wording is very specific in the contract, so they can't get out of it. They have to basically keep him alive, or hell goes to war with itself, because they're contractually, all 3 of the Lords of Hell are contractually obligated to take his soul, but they're all have to take his soul independently. So if he dies, hell has to war upon itself. And he has a 3-pack of silk cuts a day habit. Silk cuts are a British cigarette, by the way. So
you must have had a real problem with the end of the movie where he sticks a
piece of gum in his mouth. That pissed me off. Yeah. But
today it would be e-cigarettes.
Right. But
Well,
yeah,
yeah. I mean,
he needs that. Like the smoking thing is an integral part of his character, and I know because smoking is so un-PC nowadays that they're probably going to leave it out.
Yeah, I know
We'll see.
The movie thing was that he smoked all the time. It gave him lung cancer, and then the devil cures his lung cancer so that he can have a chance to mess up, and the devil can get him later.
Right.
So that's why he stopped smoking there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one is different.
Right. But this one they haven't shown him smoking at all in the
Yeah.
in the previews. But
Of course, they didn't really show him in any scenario in the preview that I don't feel like he could have been smoking. I mean, I guess he could.
no, most of them. It's Constantine.
But I mean, if he's in like an action scene of some sort,
He's usually smoking. It's Constantine. I'm not kidding. It's how he is. Like when he was in the pit talking to the angel, he would have lit a cigarette before he would have said word 1 to the angel.
all right. Got to make it for TV. That's
Yeah, but the thing is like the whole hell having to prevent hell from doing what hell wants to him is a big part of his character. So yeah.
okay.
Granted, I'm still gonna watch it just to see at least, but yeah.
Okay.
So what did you guys think of it?
I thought it looked awesome. In fact, they pretty much covered everything that you were just saying. Like it just the British accent, the look, the
Yeah.
feel. I again never read any of the comics, but when we saw Constantine back in the day, I remember you describing it basically as you had said it.
Yeah.
You're like, he's not British, he's not blah 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 blah. You're like, rabble. And I was like, well, I think Mason should be pretty happy this time around because they pretty much nailed all of his gripes. And now you're, of course, found the nitpicky portion of the cigarette, which apparently isn't nitpicky.
It's not nitpicky. It's the smoking itself is not nitpicky when it comes to Constantine.
Mike?
Yeah, I agree. They're probably going to leave it out because it's not PC. But
That and it's brand advertising. Oh, wait, no.
Well, they could never show them. They should never. They could. They used to do it with cigarettes all the time. They never show the brand. Like, and all that's simple to solve. 1, he smokes a weird British cigarette,
They should,
and 2, cigarette case. You never have to show a pack.
well, that's true. Or you could just somehow get Kevin Smith to sponsor it and have it be Nails cigarettes.
Yeah, there you go.
Lol.
And it would be kind of ironic because he can't be put in a coffin otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed the trailers. I'm looking forward to watching Constantine. I didn't have a reference for the comics. I've seen the movie. That's it. So it's definitely seems like a more interesting characterization.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely truer to the comics from what the preview has shown, with or without the cigarettes, than the movie was. Excellent. Whoa. Sorry.
I know Kung Fu.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's pretty much the 3 major trailers that have been passed around the internet the last few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Move on to current.
Sure.
Okay. So yeah, I borrowed Game of Thrones from Mason. I'm about halfway through season 2. Yay boobies.
Just get it out of the way, Mike.
Yeah, it's an awesome show. I can see why everybody has been saying it's an awesome show. I have been waiting to watch it from the beginning because I didn't want to jump in the middle of things. So finally now I got a chance to borrow that.
You do have to kind of come from the beginning on Game of Thrones. You have to kind of got to know what's going on.
Yeah, there's no way to hop in the middle of that show at all.
No.
Yep. So loving the dwarf character.
Tyrion, yes.
Tyrion is awesome. I'm actually kind of hoping he becomes king eventually. Yeah. That would be cool.
He's about the only person who could do it and not be a total douche about it in one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd say on Game of Thrones, it's funny. One character that like really stands out to me so far is Lord Baelish, Littlefinger.
Yeah.
For some reason, that dude sticks out to me like a sore thumb. Like, I love his character in the weirdest ways. Like, it's like he owns a whorehouse, but he has like the entire fucking city on his under his finger, but like in the most underground way possible.
Yeah.
Which is pretty damn awesome. Whereas it's more like, if you were talking about the Lannisters, it's more like, I have power, you must obey.
But, with the Lannisters, it depends, because like Tywin, a lot of times doesn't give a fuck.
But at the same time, he's super logical.
Yeah. Well, this thing is
weird.
like, he's all about keeping power for the Lannisters.
Mm-hmm.
He's not necessarily in it for his own personal power. He just happens to be the guy in charge of the Lannisters. But it's all about his family to him.
In the bloodline.
In the bloodline. And yeah, he's very methodical. And, that's like, yeah, I mean, could Tywin have made a bid for the king instead of Baratheon? Yeah. When his grandson became king, could he have done something to step in and take the throne during that interregnum? Probably.
But he would probably rather influence it from
He
the
would
inside.
rather be behind the throne,
Yeah.
because he's less of a target there.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, he knows the Game of Thrones.
Whoa, Mason used the words to describe the show.
They use the words.
Bro.
Excuse me. They use the words.
I know.
So.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yay boobies. I'm sorry, I'm a little fixated here.
Obviously.
Yeah. But the youngest daughter.
Arya.
Okay. Yes, I absolutely love Arya's character. 8 years old or whatever.
Yeah, she's a little older than that.
A little older than that, okay, yeah.
She's like 12, I think, 10, something in there.
Okay, yeah. And she's having people killed.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wait. Okay, spoiler alert from here on out.
Yeah.
Where are you at in the show? Like, where did you end?
Let's see. She just had one of the guard guys caught her trying to sneak the letter, and she told the guy to kill him. And right when he got up to the
So you're at the
Can't
point.
remember,
You're at the point where she's got the basically a blood pact with that guy. That
Yeah. She's giving him the second name.
okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
she still has one more name left. She hasn't used it. I'm talking about where we're at.
Right.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But, damn.
Yeah.
Have the
She's got that
Ty
much power now. I mean, this girl is really going to be a force to reckon with when she gets older.
have the Tyrells showed up yet?
Let's see.
Basically the girl that Joffrey's supposed to marry.
I know where you're at. He's still supposed to marry,
Stark.
yeah,
Yeah.
Sansa.
Sansa Stark. Okay. I may have semi-spoiled something there, but
No,
Eh.
I'm good.
okay.
I don't have a reference perhaps to stuff you're talking about anyway, so I won't remember.
Okay. Tyrells are cool, especially Grandma.
Oh, Grandma Tyrell is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
She is so fucking straightforward and just,
It tells Tywin how it is. Like,
yeah,
fuck you, dude. I don't care what you say.
yeah. Yep. Yeah, Grandma Tyrell is awesome. She's like, fuck you, and I have as much power as you, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Tywin's like, she's right, she does. Damn it.
Okay. Besides Tyrion Lannister, who's your favorite character? Because I think Tyrion is just like everybody's universal. Like, he's awesome.
Yeah.
I really like the dragon. I love what they're doing with her.
Oh, the Mother of Dragons?
Yeah, Mother Dragons.
Daenerys Targaryen.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, besides the fact that
Khaleesi,
she's just like totally haughty, but I mean, that's just a side note.
My wife has Khaleesi on her license plate now.
I forgot her name. Okay, so the mother's bodyguard, or not bodyguard, but
Brienne of Tarth.
Brianna, yes,
Yeah.
love Brianna.
She's pretty badass.
Yeah. She stays badass pretty much for the
Remainder.
of at least where they're up to in the show.
Okay, yeah, and
So what Mason's trying to tell you is she's not dead yet.
okay.
Yeah.
Knight of Roses.
Yeah, it could happen. We're not
Yeah.
saying it won't.
The Knight of Roses guy, he's just so
He is
fabulous.
Tyrell.
Oh, that's Tyrell.
Oh, yeah, he's this brother.
Yes. I haven't forgot her name. But yeah, he's her brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a thing for Wang.
Oh, yeah, he was the king's lover, and the sister was like, you need to put a baby in me. Do I need to get my brother in here to get you up?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's her. That's the girl
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
okay, that's the girl you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so she apparently has a lot more later on, too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The Tyrells are actually very important.
Okay. That's cool.
Theon Greyjoy. He's a fucking prick.
Reek.
Yeah, Reek. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
I like the fact that I keep seeing characters from other shows. Like the guy from the Misfits, the guy that basically creates Reek.
Yeah.
That guy's from.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen the Hulu's
Snow.
Snow, yes.
Yeah. So,
But he's
not Jon Snow.
not Jon Snow, who by the way is my favorite character on the show besides Tyrion. I'm a big Jon Snow fan.
Oh, yeah. He's good, too. Mm-hmm. There's so many characters to like. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just crazy how many layers they got that all interact with each other.
Yeah.
That's George.
And then as
Well,
it goes, there's
okay,
more layers
now-
added in. It's like crazy.
Now the books are from first-person points of view. So
So it's like each chapter, like
So,
from
like,
a different person, or
yeah. So like if the chapter's focusing on, Arya, for example, you're reading the book from Arya's point of view, and then the next part's about, the Hound, and it's from the Hound's point of view.
within the same chapter, or
No, like they're
Oh.
different chapters, and all the chapters are sequential in their order, but like every chapter switches points of view. And the thing is like, this might spoil something for you. I don't think it will at this point, but like, you've got Arya and the Hound together.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first time you encounter that, it could be in Arya's point of view. And then a couple more chapters, then there's a Tyrion chapter, something Tyrion's doing. There's a Jon Snow chapter with some stuff Jon Snow's doing. And then it goes back to Arya and the Hound, but it's from the Hound's point of view.
Interesting.
So, yeah. Like, honestly, the way the books are written is pretty freaking cool. But yeah. So that actually caused some controversy with, episode 4-3. Where, you can close your ears if you want.
I'm good.
Okay. Cersei is, in the TV show, essentially raped by Jaime.
Yes. Next to something.
I'm not going to mention that part.
Okay.
But the book, that entire chapter is written from Jaime's point of view, but also in the chapter, Cersei consents and it becomes consensual. She was resistant at first, but she did consent. So the way they spun it in the TV show is a little bit different. Yeah. So I don't know. It's kind of.
See, I thought it's weird. I see how they spun it in the show. I can understand why people were upset about it, but to me, it did almost feel at least a smidge of consent in the TV series, because she could have put up way more of a fight if she really didn't want it to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, for a TV series.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that was the right thing to do, but.
Right. I mean, a lot of things could have been done different in that scene to make it different, and I'm not going to debate those merits or whatever right now.
Right.
I don't want to get into that one. But, like, I mean, it's like, I haven't read that book yet. Oh yeah, by the way, for all of our listeners, I have completed Game of Thrones. The first book. But yeah,
So now it's between me and Nikki?
Yeah, so now it's between you and Nikki.
Alright. There you get your reading.
But yeah, but like, I mean, yes, there are differences, and that, like, their choice there to not have Cersei explicitly make it consensual does change the dynamic from the show to the book a lot in that scene. So we'll have to see what the fallout from it is. But.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, that's Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yeah, boobies.
And by the way, my favorite character's probably the Onion Knight.
The Onion Knight?
Yeah.
I feel like I know who that is, but I can't remember.
I
heard the name.
Stannis Baratheon's hand has his fingers cut off because he was a smuggler.
Oh, yeah.
But he was also knighted by Stannis because he smuggled him onions and potatoes to feed his army with when they were stranded.
Yeah, very.
But, yeah.
Yeah, very.
Stannis is lawful neutral for all the D&D nerds out there.
Also throwing it back to what we talked about before with Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
Because he was the lead character in that. Wasn't he?
No.
Was that the same guy?
No.
Oh, now I'm lost. Okay.
Don't.
No. They just no. But that would have been the professional, Leon, the professional you're talking
Yes.
about. But no, they were not the same person. That was not the same actor.
Okay. It's been a long time, so.
But yeah, but I like the Onion Knight. Because of his, like, his weird relationship with the world, because of what he is, what he became, and just everything. Like, I think he's a really interesting character because of how he's how he interacts and how the world is around him. So.
I also like his relationship with his daughter.
With Stannis' daughter.
Yeah.
Almost more of a father to her than her own father is.
Mm-hmm.
Also, HBO is probably about the only place where you can find black undeadish specter goo coming out of chick's vagina.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, wow. That's almost a little more than I can be doing with. It was crazy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of crazy visuals in that show.
Oh, yeah. All right, so moving on. Another show. Shield?
Sure, Shield.
Okay, this is gonna be all you guys. 'Cause I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
Go ahead. You probably won't spoil anything for me, but so go ahead. Yeah. Everyone talk openly. I'll ask questions.
I have not had a chance to watch the final one yet, but I
have not seen the season finale yet because it's not available freely on Hulu.
Okay. So yeah, we're on the same place then.
Right.
Okay. Hail Hydra.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm just gonna get this rant out of the way. Now, I know Coulson and Tony Stark weren't necessarily the best of friends. I'm just gonna put that out there.
But they respected each other. And I know Coulson has a cell phone. I've seen him use it before on the show. When all that shit with Hydra went down, I would have been like, I got Tony Stark on speed dial. Hey, Iron Man, help. I'm just going to put that out there. I mean, okay, yeah, Cap's over and having problems. Nick Fury's missing. You don't necessarily want to call Banner in. I'm just going to put that out there, too. Because Hulk. Because you wouldn't like him when he's angry.
Right. And, the lag time for calling Thor could be really long. I'm just saying he has to get to another planet. So.
Don't think they have reception out there.
I don't know if they have reception on Asgard. So. Yeah, I've been like, hey, Tony. Sup? Can you call your buddy War Machine and get Iron Man and War Machine out here real quick? I would have handled it a little different. I would have been like, panic, run. I would have been like, I gotta make one phone call. We'll get this shit sorted out. Cause because they didn't have all the cool toys back yet from the fridge.
What do you mean ABC's budget can't handle it? I don't care. Get over here.
Because they didn't have all the toys back from the fridge yet. They didn't have they had Deathlock and that was it. And wrist missile, Deathlock's done. Or beam, or shoulder missiles, or punch him once. It's Iron Man, but so all Hydra really had going for him at that point was Deathlock and Surprise. So, okay, Surprise, they take over and, start making S.H.I.E.L.D. look bad. Iron Man shows up, kicks the crap out of everybody important in Hydra, and goes, no, S.H.I.E.L.D. wasn't bad, this was another group that were bad people. Done. Now, I understand it's a TV show, they have to keep it going and whatnot. But when certain things like that are like you're just so totally out of, because in the comics, they would have called in the Avengers. And and Romanov and, Black Widow and Hawkeye are nowhere to be found. There's, these people would have showed up in the comic books.
Budgets, Mason, budgets.
Are you saying they couldn't afford they couldn't afford the CG for Iron Man or Robert Downey Jr.'s budget or Charlize Theron's budget? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Lol.
I'm saying they couldn't afford ILM or whatever they were using.
I think it was ILM.
Or just the actor.
Which is weird because
the actor itself.
Which is weird because Disney owns ABC
and ILM
and Marvel
and ILM.
So it would have all been a very self-contained budget if they did.
Yeah, but they all kind of act as independent entities is the thing.
All coming from the same bank account.
Yeah.
I mean, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
But, I mean, in the end, ledgers aren't going to shift very much.
Yeah. But ILM costs a lot just because they have to.
Well, at that point, you're pretty much just paying employees.
Yeah.
You're not contracted. You own ILM.
Yeah.
This is an in-house deal at this point.
Plus they're probably already currently working on Avengers 2.
Mm-hmm.
So ILM's probably already got their plates pretty fucking full. But plus anything else they might be doing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, it's just, to me, it was, that's my Iron Man rant, or my Shield rant that I've been holding in for like 2 weeks now. I feel better.
Boom. You just spewed that all over our faces.
Yeah, you did.
I need a wet nap.
However, I do actually like and enjoy the show. And the characters are cool.
The one thing I have seen from the Avengers is Patton Oswalt.
Yes.
He played like some sort of like agent that was like questioning them over something that had happened. And it was just his acting for that particular part was.
Actually, Patton Oswalt did a really good job.
Yeah, he did.
Yep.
And it was in pure Patton style too, which made my day.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, what else is, I mean, like right now, anyone who's following it knows Shield's in shambles, and they're gonna have to rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, unfortunately, I haven't seen episode 23 yet, so I don't know if they catch Ward and all the other Shield, or the Hydra agents, but, well, I know they're not gonna catch all the Hydra agents.
Oh, yeah.
But.
I thought, I liked on the last episode where they had, hey, get ready for an incoming file.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, out the window. Comes crashing out a file cabinet. So we're so used to.
Well, you're thinking like data transfer, get ready, on the computer. And they huck a full-size filing cabinet out the window.
Oh, it's a joke.
Yeah.
Got it.
So. Yeah, and they were, one of the guys they're currently with, his grandfather was one of the original Howling Commandos.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, they have all of his old school Howling Commando gear they're using, but it's like, 60 years outdated spy tech. So it looks like things from the 40s and 50s, and it would have been small and compact for the 40s and 50s, but is now massive, and stuff, and it's kind of funny, but they're getting it to work and getting their shit done with it.
Yep.
It's like, why can't we hear them? Because we're too far advanced.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yep.
All right.
So yeah.
Other nerd TV. I wanted to bring up At Midnight.
I was say you can bring it up, but you're alone on this one because I don't think any of us watch it.
Which is fine. I kind of wish I had Nikki here to bounce off of, but I don't. But At Midnight, if you don't know, is a game show. Well, it's like a faux game show. It's just basically a way for comedians to get on and run their spiel, promote whatever they're doing, and then just kind of have fun doing it. So basically, it's Chris Hardwick hosts it. Like he hosts everything else.
Because he has the hosting gene.
Yes. In fact, I was listening to, oh god, I'm going to spin off this, but he was basically interviewing Alex Trebek.
Awesome.
On the latest Nerdist podcast, and Alex basically tells him, he's like, you would make a great replacement host for
Jeopardy,
because Alex, I guess, is retiring 2015.
Yeah, something like that.
Well,
he's been doing it a long time.
Yeah, he's like in his 70s now.
Yeah.
He needs to... in fact, in the interview, he said that he started hosting it when he was 43, and that was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So...
yeah.
That gives you a little
He's
insight.
had a career at this point.
Yeah. But anyway, he hosts At Midnight, which is a faux game show where he invites comedians onto the show, and sometimes you get the occasional actor or actress who just happens to have a bit of the funny gene, and they'll come on and promote or do whatever they want to do, and it's just funny because basically what they do is just bounce off of social media sites around the internet like Twitter, Facebook, Yelp. Hashtag Wars is always the fun one because you can actually interact with the show that way. So their hashtag will be whatever funny object it is, like ruined video games or something like that was one that I had done, like Super Mario Kart off a cliff or something like that. Yeah. It's fun. But it's like a half hour, 20 minutes if you're watching it on Hulu.
Yeah.
And it's just, I love comedians, and most of them are nerdy, and I love Chris Hardwick, and he's fun to listen to, and he's very distinguished in his way of hosting, and it's funny, because most of the comedians are also his buddies.
Yeah.
So, especially
that's one of the things about, like, comedians is like, they all started out at, like, only a handful of places around the country. Mm-hmm. So they all kind of inherently know each other on some level.
They have crossed paths in one way or
they've
another.
always all crossed paths.
Mm-hmm. So it's pretty funny, especially when you get people. I think one of my favorite episodes was they had Blaine Capatch, Patton Oswalt, and Brian Posehn on, and Chris Hardwick hosting, and all four of these guys have known each other for well over a decade.
Yeah.
So when they're bouncing off each other as friends, it's just that much more funny.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I recommend watching it. It's on Comedy Central, Monday through Thursday, starting at 11:59 and 59 seconds, which is how he opens the show. So yeah, I wish you guys had more to say, but
Yeah,
go watch it. It's funny, goddammit. And it's on Hulu. You can watch it the next day later, which is how I have to watch it. So technically, it's Tuesday through Friday for me.
Yeah.
But other than that, good show. It's funny. If you like game shows, it's awesome. Kind of reminiscent of, it's done in game show format versus improv format, which was, the game show that, Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yeah.
Kind of like in that vein, but going down the other path, like doing it like in true game show fashion versus an improv game show where
Right.
you score points on improv versus making making smart ass remarks.
Where the topics are made up and the points don't matter, I believe was the tagline for Whose Line.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Which that show is going to completely nerdy now because it was Aisha Tyler hosting.
Well, not that Drew Carey wasn't a nerd to begin with either.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the new Aisha Tyler one.
I haven't either. I imagine it's more or less the same show, quite honestly.
Well, I'm sure it's same cast,
Yeah.
other than the host.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Host got a lot prettier. I'm just going to put that out there.
yes, very much so.
Yeah.
Aisha Tyler's hot.
Yay, boobies.
And also awesome, being that she's from San Francisco. Just going to put that out there.
Okay. Yay, boobies.
I like my Bay Area.
This is Mike's contribution for the night.
Yay, boobies.
Yay,
Yeah.
movies.
It's the best contribution ever.
All right, we're an hour in.
Okay.
Any quick runs you want to make?
Arrow,
Yeah.
which, again, spoiler alert, people. And a rant. Okay, so in Arrow, they introduce, besides Flash, they introduce the Suicide Squad, which is a group of villains who are controlled through bombs in their heads, to do shitty work for the government that they need superpowered beings to do, but don't necessarily want to get heroes involved with because it's a little on the dark side. They've shown they've used Suicide Squad a couple of times now. The first showing of Suicide Squad, one of the major ones they're using is Deadshot. Because of the way they had Deadshot and Diggle intermixed in the end of the first season and the beginning of the second season. In the first introduction of the Suicide Squad, they show one of the doors that they don't open that has a blonde girl in it. You can see the back of her head. And Diggle and his ex-wife / current girlfriend are fighting. And she says, "Do you need help with that? I'm a certified counselor," or something like that. And it's Tara Strong doing the voice.
Oh, snap.
So, I'm assuming any video game nerd out there knows who Tara Strong is. She is the voice of Harley Quinn.
And in My Little Pony.
Yes, but
If you're a Brony fan.
most importantly, in this case, she is the voice of Harley Quinn.
Yes. Who physically could pull off Harley Quinn if she wanted to.
Oh, she could. She totally has the look. But they don't specifically say it's Tara in the show. Well, I knew the voice immediately because I've just relatively recently played Arkham Asylum.
Does she have that? Does she have the Mr. J type voice?
Yeah, she does the voice.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then, but the woman you see is, in an orange style prison jumpsuit with blonde pigtails. You only see her from the back, so it could be just about practically anybody as far as the actress who was physically there. It could have been Tara Strong for all we know. But in the credit, Tara Strong is credited with the voice of Mysterious Blonde or something like that. They didn't specifically say it was Harley. But
well, isn't Harley supposed to be like in her late 20s, early 30s?
Something like that. She was exposed to the same goop as Joker. So, Joker exposed her to it. So, so they teased at Harley, but didn't let her out of the cage, as it were.
And that's a gripe?
Yes.
Why?
No Harley.
So either they planned plans for Harley, or
they just wanted to tease at Harley because she is part of Suicide Squad, but she's really Batman universe material. She's Harley Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
But then they had during the last episode of the season, in season finale, Diggle and his ex-wife / current girlfriend, storm Argus, which Argus is the government group that controls Suicide Squad. And they also are strong arm preventative measures. So like they had mobilized Argus troops and drones and stuff to block off Starling City and destroy it if Deathstroke's thugs could not be contained. And basically she was going to blow up Starling City with whether she thought the Arrow could make it or not, could control it or not. So Diggle and his wife storm the place, break Suicide Squad out, except for Harley. They break all the rest of them out except Harley Quinn.
Saving her for Batman universe?
I don't know, but like I wanted to see somebody because like they gave the guys their weapons and stuff. I wanted to see them hand Harley her hammer and let her go after somebody. But the thing, what I'm hoping for is either that she will get some airtime in season 3,
mm-hmm.
or B, they're going to do a Suicide Squad spinoff show. Like if Flash rolls around and gets a good first season, they're going to spin off a Suicide Squad show. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh, on a plus note, Barrowman.
John Barrowman.
Yes. John Barrowman, yes.
Yeah.
He's going to be getting a lot of airtime next season.
Yeah,
he landed a permanent role on the show because he did like a role. Well, it was like a 3 or 4 episode spot, right? Or
season 1 he was a major character.
Yeah, season 1 he was a major character. Season 2, for most of the season, people thought he was dead.
Mm-hmm.
But he was only like 3, maybe 4 episodes of the second season.
Yeah. Then he comes back, and then the mom's like, no, you're going to go away and not come back, or, I'll have these guys kill you. So he disappears. Well, the end of this second season, he comes back.
Yeah.
And so he's going to have a major role in the next part, which...
Yeah.
God, I am so not getting the names tonight. So the sister?
Thea,
yes. So Thea and her boyfriend. I got a feeling that eventually those two are going to end up going against each other.
Mm-hmm. Because he's Red Hood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Red Hood and the Outlaws. They're vigilante superheroes. So
that was a good, great DC animated movie too. If you haven't seen it,
I haven't seen the animated movie for it,
where Joker kills. not Dick Grayson, but who was the second? Tim. He basically
Manny Robbins.
I know there's 3 specifically, or 4 total. I think that I can think of.
It was 5 or 6 now. But,
There's Dick Grayson, the first one,
right.
But
who becomes Nightwing.
Right, and Nightwing was in this one, trying to help Batman hunt down the Red Hood. It was basically Batman the Red Hood, and the opening of the friggin' episode is the Joker has Robin tied up in like a bunker,
right,
which is full of dynamite. Beats the shit out of him to within an inch of his life, and then basically makes the building blow up before Batman can get there. I can't remember which Robin it was, but basically he gets basically pissed off at Batman, holds a grudge against him for not saving him in time, and becomes the Red Hood.
Yeah.
Tim Drake?
Tim Drake. Yes.
Yeah. I think it might be Tim Drake.
Yeah. But yeah, Roy. That's the boyfriend's name, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, Roy becomes the Red Hood. So.
There's plenty of Batman hooks in here, too.
Yeah.
They could easily cross it over. They probably won't.
I would say they probably won't, because then everybody's like, Batman! And, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be weird if you had a Batman show spin-off from Arrow.
Yeah.
Do you think it'd be the other way around?
Yeah. Yeah. But honestly, I do hope that...
Well, nobody's done a live-action Batman TV series in
a long time. Since the 60s.
Yeah.
Gotham.
I mean, we've got plenty of movies.
Well,
Gotham's kind of that.
Kind of.
But it's like Smallville rather than Lois and Clark.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it, actually.
Yeah. So we could have a Lois and Clark for Batman that kind of goes off from...
Call it Bruce and Dick.
Oh, my God.
Bruce and Selena.
You could.
Catwoman. Oh, him and Catwoman love the hell out of each other. They just can never admit it.
Mm-hmm.
I know, but she's technically...
They could just call it Wayne.
Yeah.
That's all you need. Wayne. Everybody knows what that is.
That'd be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Just call it by the last name.
Yeah.
I like the stories being more based off of Bruce Wayne than actual Batman.
Yeah.
Bruce and Dick sounds more like it would almost be
softcore
like...
gay porn.
Oh, that too, but... Remember, kids, don't ever name your kid Richard.
Sir Rose the Fabulous.
Yeah.
But, having a... It just sounds like it sounds like it'd almost be like a remake of the 60s Batman.
Yes, it does, actually. And that's not what we want. We don't want...
We want him running down the road with a big-ass bomb over his head.
No, we really don't.
And riding sharks.
Bat shark repellent. No, we don't want it. And on that note, boys and girls.
Yeah. Any last quick ones? True Blood. Awesome. Has another season coming. Supernatural they got their 10th season and a spinoff.
Yeah. And Will Wheaton has a new variety show that is either started last Sunday, or either starts tonight, or...
Tonight being Sunday the 18th.
Which sounds correct. Or next Sunday. And it's going to run for the 12 episodes, at least a 12 episode interim on Sci-Fi during the summer months.
Mm-hmm. And it's not anytime soon, but next Doctor Who's coming up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I've been seeing some behind the scenes camera shots pop up on occasion.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like it's going to be awesome. Just the promo photo of him as the Doctor is still pretty damn cool. That's an image burned in my brain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The look Capaldi has for the Doctor is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Still hate him.
Oh, by the end of the first episode, you'll love him.
But right now, I hate him. But yeah. So
Doctor Who is a love-hate relationship.
It really is.
Yeah. I decided to name my phone Davros.
Jesus.
I don't know if that's... At least you didn't name it Hal.
No, Davros. I was watching some of the classic clips.
Yeah.
They had one where he was like all, he's got this facility done to make the Daleks, and the doctor's trying to convince him to not create the Daleks.
Right.
And have the facility running and making them all. And he brings up, so if you made a deadly virus that if you knew got out into the got out, it could wipe out all life in the universe, would you allow that to go out? Trying to use the viruses and,
Right.
And just his whole inner dialogue about having that much power between his fingers and that little vial and being able to just squeeze his fingers together and break the glass and all life would be wiped out and yes, I would do it. And it just like, yeah, okay, he's evil.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I also, on Nerd TV, I believe Big Bang Theory just had its series finale, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
This last Sunday.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was the most watched finale in television history.
Crazy.
Alrighty then.
And if you tell me you're beating Friends and Frasier, that's pretty big
Yeah.
numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And Seinfeld.
And Seinfeld and Cheers.
Mm-hmm. MASH.
Jeez. Yeah, that's pretty scary. Considering we just named the classics of sitcoms.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's like a little
All
plucky
of
show
which-
about nerds might be
Yeah.
really one of the classic sitcoms now.
It's kind of sad though, because I watched all of those.
Yeah.
Every single one of those last episodes I watched. I had not watched The Big Bang Theory. I've seen episodes, never really watched it. Probably because we're nerds. We know this stuff.
I watch it, but I always watch it like I wait for a season to finish and then watch the whole season as like a marathon, basically. So
That's pretty much what I need to do. I catch episodes here and there, like they tend to be on in rooms that I walk into,
yeah,
or something like that, and then I'll maybe watch it then. But I've never actually purposely gone and watched an episode yet. So it's like I don't run home going saying Big Bang Theory's on at 7, gotta go watch it.
My theory is it's because we're nerds.
yeah.
We know the stuff, we're watching it, and it's like, yeah, it's all watered down to make sense for everybody else.
Comic Book Men has its 4th season, I believe, in the works.
Oh, nice. I've only seen the first 2.
Because they're on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Same here. I saw the first season live because I had cable at the time.
Yeah.
And then I had to kind of wait for second season to hit Netflix in order to watch it.
Yeah.
But yes. Kevin Smith also has another show called Spoilers, which you can catch on Hulu.
It's back?
It has a second season, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Carrie Fisher's on it.
Oh, nice.
She's pretty cool. And I think they have Stan Lee on this one, too.
Awesome.
Nice.
Because, well,
Stanley.
Yeah, the reason it didn't go direct to Hulu this time is because it started on Hulu.
Right.
The first season, it was a Hulu original. But then the Comedy Channel or whatever up in Canada picked it up.
Oh, okay.
And then, so they aired it there first before they put the season out on Hulu.
Okay.
So, the spoilers aren't really very spoilery this time around.
The movies have been out
for a while.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, still good show. Cause
Yeah.
Kevin Smith is Kevin Smith and he's a talker and he's
Yeah.
fun to listen to.
Yay, boobies.
In Kevin Smith's case, man movies, but yes.
Oh, right.
Yes. Yeah. His hockey jersey covered, layered.
Yeah, I guess that was bad timing on that one.
Yes,
yeah.
it was.
Yeah, it was.
Carrie Fisher's boobies?
Oh, yeah. Boing.
Okay,
Okay, she's older now, but
I mean, even now, if I was her age, I would totally. I mean, Carrie Fisher's still, for her age, a good looking
yeah, yeah.
woman.
Yeah.
but yeah.
So anyway.
We
Is
should
that the note we're going to end this on?
End this on.
Yeah, I think so.
Awesome. All right. Well, that was we ran long at the beginning because we had a lot to talk about for the new stuff that was coming out because we were so excited about it.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I didn't know much about any of the stuff that was talked about at the beginning other than at midnight because that was kind of my shtick. True Blood I'm getting caught up on. We just started season 6. Mason and I are up to date on Game of Thrones.
Get there.
Well, if you've already watched 1.5 seasons, you'll be caught up pretty quick.
Yeah, it goes pretty quick. Yeah, lots of good stuff coming out. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I still haven't even seen yet. Arrow I still need to see.
Yes, and you need to see both of them too.
Oh man, so much stuff I need to watch. I'm just gonna go and watch Arrow. Here's the thing. Let me put this out there right now.
Yeah.
The reason I don't watch certain things immediately is because I always think to myself, eventually I'm going to watch these with my wife.
You gotta stop doing that.
I know. I just need to go out and fucking watch them because if I sit there and wait for them, it's just going to go by. And I won't even see it. Like, I tried to go back and watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but apparently Hulu, they cycle them out after 5 episodes or whatever. So I can't watch the whole thing. Yeah. But I think Netflix has the first season.
Okay.
Of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well, the first season just ended this week. So, but
did the first season did? I thought they were on a second season.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Uh-huh. Oh, well, shit. I guess I'm going to be waiting for a while then.
Yeah, but Arrow, the first season is
on Netflix.
Yeah.
Or Netflix, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where I watched it.
Yeah.
And, Mason, your little trick worked.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was watching the second to the last episode for Arrow and then just let it run. And it went right into the last episode. If you try and click on it directly, it doesn't let you watch it.
Because it's only on Hulu Plus for a week after it airs. But sometimes they don't, for some reason, on Hulu, and it's part of their programming. Like, if you watch the episode before and then go into an episode that's on Hulu Plus, it feeds right in.
Yeah.
As long as it
just runs the commercial and then goes into it.
Yeah.
Yep. It did it on this last one for Arrow, which usually doesn't. But
occasionally,
Agents of
weirdly,
S.H.I.E.L.D.
it does.
Yeah. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't do it, by the way. I tried.
Okay.
Interesting.
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And when it does, it works for about 2 days and then stops.
Well, because then they're like, oh, hey, people are watching this. We don't want to watch it.
I mean, it's in their code. So, I mean, evidently either they can't or don't want to fix it.
Well, there's your life hack for today from
Yeah.
nerdeffect.com.
Not a very good one, but
Nonetheless.
It's more like it's not even a hack. It's just the exploit.
it's an exploit, technically, yeah.
We're exploiting! No,
Woohoo!
we wouldn't do that to you.
Abuse the loop while you still can.
So, but yeah.
Hack the planet.
I still believe in that.
Stop.
Eh?
Hack the planet.
Information should be free. The populace should have access to information on the government.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, well, we can get into that, but
Yeah, let's not get into that because that's like a couple.
I was gonna say we're already on the
That's a
whole
whole
invading
episode
net
right there.
neutrality thing right now. So,
So yeah. Anyway,
next thing you know, they're gonna have to start charging us to host podcast, fuckers. Which would be really weird if they did because you're paying for your own server space. The only thing iTunes does is it's just a
aggregator.
Yeah, it just pulls.
Yeah. So anyway,
love you guys. Hope you enjoyed this show. Go out and watch some Nerd TV. There's a lot of good stuff out there right now. And a lot of good stuff coming up.
yes.
So, feed your eyeballs.
Yep.
Engorge your ears.
Yes.
And yay boobies.
And yay boobies. For the Nerd Effect Podcast, we have been
Michael Morgan.
Mason Ireland.
And I'm Dustin Vancouver. And for those about to nerd, we salute you.